Guys, it's amazing how effective trendline strategy could be just by simply plotting at a zone and waiting for price to come and tap in the trend line, and we enter. Look at amazing trades. We have very high risk reward ratios that we got just simply using a trend line strategy. So in this video, this is a volatility 75, a simple trend line entry strategy that I'm going to share with you. Very simple and very effective, guys. You can catch very high winning rates, and even with a very small account size. Imagine using this kind of stop loss means you can trade with a very small account, and then you'll be able to even double the account if you catch just 2 or 3 winning trades, guys. So this is amazing. You want to watch this video till the end because it actually works, and I'll share with you things to avoid, and at the end I'll hint you on how to identify breakouts and take them. So make sure that you watch this video till the end. Okay, traders, welcome to my channel. I am Full Kingsley. By the grace of God, I bring to you guys strategies, tutorials on the forex market, volatility indices, metals like gold, Nasdaq, VIX 75, many other instruments. You want to subscribe to the channel by hitting on the subscribe button and notification bell to not miss out. Now this is our bear chart here, and normally I'm going to give you the roles in which you use to draw trendline effectively to avoid fake out or doing it wrongly, because many people have many ideologies about drawing trend lines, and this is how I do my trend lines. Right now, you see that trend line simply is a way of what identify diagonal support or resistance. Now it will be supporting an uptrending market, because once price has reacted to a particular zone more than once, if it comes and rejects, it goes up. Come and rejects the second time, now probably this is already identified as a diagonal support, right? And price will likely come back the third time to reject just at this zone here, and if you take a trade here, you can win. All right, so it automatically becomes diagonal support. Okay, sometimes price will come back and reject here as many times as possible, okay, until when price finally breaks out from the zone and maybe start creating other lows, and you can start taking sell trades. Now these are the rules to trade trend lines effectively. Number one, identify the trend of the market. Right, the trend of the market needs to be very good. You have to have a nice gentle sloping trending market. So there are some markets that are not very gently sloping, okay, like this. For instance, you can see use trend line, but this is not a very good gentle sloping market condition. Here you can see use it, but it's not a good gentle sloping market condition. You can bear with me, right, that this is a better market condition to trade with. Right now, what you simply do when you're doing a trend line is you simply identify zones that are obvious. Now from my experience, if I just look at this chart here, I can already understand that this is diagonal support here, that a trend line will work this way. Okay, you have to know where to connect. Right, you see in a smaller time frame, this is a complete trend line zone here. If you go to maybe a 15 minutes time frame or 5 minutes, you see that this is a complete trend line which price has reacted here many times, but we are talking about the 30 minutes in this situation. So what you simply do is you pick your trend line after identifying the trend of the market. Now you connect, always try to pick the wicks of the candle. You just pick at the top of the wicks, you connect the first zone. This is the second, right? This is the first, this is the second, this is probably the third, okay, in smaller time frames. Now you are trying to adjust so that it can hit this zone here, right? Remember, you always try to adjust so that you get many touches, because from the third touch, that's where you are going to start taking your trades. Okay, once you connect like that, okay, because probably this opportunity was not yet there, right? So you just have to connect like that, and then you drag. You just make sure that you get as many touches as you can, right? So once you do that, you already have an indicator that will tell you where to be taking your trades next. Now take note of how I am getting my connections. I know people have different theories, or some people say they should draw across weeks, some people will say they are using 2 trend lines, all right, so that they should make it a zone. That could still be good, but I'm using what works for me, and I've tested it over the years, right? So once you have connected this once, twice, thrice, this is already a trading setup here, because price has been rejected here once, twice, thrice. Like I told you, in a smaller time frame, these are already trade opportunities, okay, but since we are in a bigger time frame, we wait for price to come back. This is already an entry. Now what you do is you wait for price to come and hit the trend line for at least the third time, or maybe you look for what, a rejection candle. If you look at this candlestick very well, you see that is a rejection candle. see its rate is bullish. It shows bullish pressure because price has actually reacted to this zone. If you look at it very well, see it shows that price came, the bulls push price down, and then the bears push price up, and it is after an impulsive move, right? Though this is another opportunity here. After connecting this first and the second, you could still enter here, right? You could still enter here because this is an opportunity here. This because price has reacted once, twice, thrice, four times. Even here, from here you can be taking, but this is based on people with so smaller time frames. This would have been good moves. Now you can take your trade from here. It comes, it rejects. You see these two doji candles that looks like evening star. All right, once you take your trade, you see how price move violently after that. Okay, and then your stop loss should be below this zone here. Okay, your target could just be measured based on the trend, or measured based on what you see on the left hand side. Okay, here you can see that here it will be another opportunity. Here as price goes, it comes back and retests. You see a rejection candle. What you do, you just enter. Just look at how it is, how effective that will be. If you enter at this candlestick, your stop loss below the candlestick, right? And then you just extend. You look at how price happens to move, guys. What you are doing now, you just make your money, you stay, you wait for price to come back again and reject at the trend line. Price comes again and reject at the trend line. Now just take note of that candlestick there. Look at the same candlestick, same type of candlestick, which shows less bearish pressure and shows that price actually has reversed upward. This candlestick week have actually closed above there. This has closed above there, and what you do, you simply take another trade there. You just take your buy trade. Okay, once you do, you just take a long trade, and once you take your trade, just place it below those candlesticks. And then sometimes you can place your target based on this previous high, because this is the previous high that was entered, and then you extend it. Or something you can enter, or something you can extend based on this move. You measure this move and then you extend. All right, see that price move. Look at how price move powerfully, guys. And that is it, guys. Just imagine you have caught this trade here, one, you have caught this trade two, you have caught this trade three times, and price comes again and then it doesn't hit the zone. And then finally, if it comes now, okay, here and rejects, you enter. This time you enter, you see target this high here, right? You can see that it came, it rejected a little bit, and then it closed above there. For people who entered, sometimes if your stop loss was too tight, you will get stopped out. Okay, you target this previous low here, price move up and came back. And maybe for people who got stopped out, there's no problem, right? If you win 3 trades with this kind of high risk to low ratio, and then you have just a small stop loss hit here, it will not be an issue. Okay, it will not be an issue, because this will simply mean nothing, guys. This will simply mean nothing if you enter like that and then you got hit with this small stop. That will just mean nothing, right? And that is it, guys. You see now that the trend of the market changes. Okay, now what happened now? We don't have a very good trending market. Now this is another situation here. This is another good trending situation here. Price move, creates lower lows. What you do now, you just identify the obvious zones. Why did I not take this high here? You can't take this high, guys. You can't take this high. If you draw like this, it wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't make no sense, right? Remember, you need to train your eyes to be able to identify these zones. If you draw like this, it won't make sense, okay, because it will have already broken through. That's why I came down to pick this high here, right? So when you pick this high, you connect, and in another hand, if you connect like this, you see, it would have already crossed across wicks. You get the point, when you cut across wicks, and that's the mistake many people do. And then you see that you end up being stopped out unnecessarily. You connect the obvious zone that has not yet been violated, as you can see here. And secondly, when it is gentle like this, it is more sustainable than a steep one. So a steep trend line like this is not as sustainable as a gentle one. So what you do, you simply connect. All right, once you connect, you pick the first high and the second high using the same principles. Remember, I told you, identify the trend, you pick the highs, you don't violate, you don't draw and then you violate, or you don't draw and then it goes across above like that with that touch. You know, make sure you get the touches on the wicks just as you have seen me do, right? And then you wait for price to come back and hit again, right? Price went and then came back, got rejected. Now you can see it got rejected at the zone there. This is another opportunity to short, okay, and that is where price currently is at. Right now you can short like this. After this rejection, you place your stop loss above those candlesticks there, and now we have a high probability that price is going to drop. That's just as simple and effective as trendline strategy could be. I've dropped this setup in our Telegram channel, and if you have not joined our Telegram channel, please make sure that you join the channel. The link is in the video's description and in the pinned comment, so that you get analysis. And if you want to get my personal trades, then you know what to do. You just sign up in the booker, send it to me. This guy, that's how simple it is. Now I was talking about trading breakouts, right? Now I'm going to share with you how you should be able to trade breakouts. Now, when you want to trade breakouts, guys, you look at different market conditions. There are some market conditions that are too steep, like I said earlier, that trend lines that are steep, that are not sustainable. And as a result of that, you can use them to trade as breakouts. You can use them like breakouts. Like, for instance, here we have a very steep trend line here, and this trend line could be a breakout. You can use this to trade breakout here. We can use this kind of situations to trade breakouts and catch very strong moves. Okay, so anyways, we don't want to make this video too short, too long. I'm going to, in the subsequent videos, I'll be explaining to you guys the kind of setups that you should take as break. If you take breakouts trades, you can really ride the trend right down, and they can be more explosive than trading the trend line itself, right? So that is it, guys. Thank you for watching. If this video is helpful, please support this channel by just liking. All you need to do is click on the like button, drop a comment, or share with other traders. That's all you have to support me, so that we can continue doing what we are doing. All right, so thank you for watching. Make sure you join the Telegram channel. The link is in the description below. See you in the next video.